Hello, everyone. How are you today? I didn't quite get the start message, but that's my problem. So sorry I wasn't here yesterday, but my dog had an ear infection in his left ear, and he was kind of walking like this, like sideways. And I'm like, oh, that can't be good. So he has meds, and he's getting to be a happy boy. So I was grateful for my veterinary hospital to be open and to see me right away and have care. So thank you very much. And today our guest speaker had something come up, and that happens. It's COVID time. We're very fluid. So instead, we are going to talk about bouncing back. Some states are reopening. Some are reopening partially. Some are reopening completely, like Georgia and Tennessee and South Carolina, I believe. But that means different things for different people. And I guess that also means different things for within those states per county. But regardless, at some point, we all should be 100% wide open again. But what does that mean? And what can we do today? So that's what we're going to talk about. But first, we're going to talk about a news item because everything's ever changing. So the first news item is, as Will brings it up here, this came across my desk this morning. So Google, when Google does something, they can do things really, really well, or they can do things not so well. They don't really have a good in-between. So Google previously had Google Hangouts, which was one of those not so well items. Very clunky, painful to use, not everybody could get in. So Google is kind of quietly making that go away. And just today they announced they have a Meet video conferencing system that was previously open to their business users, like people using G Suite. And bigger businesses, but now they're going to start rolling this out and be a direct competitor to Zoom. So that should be interesting. They have a sign up right now. They're doing a soft rolling rollout. It's birch season here. I'm allergic, so excuse me. They're doing a soft rollout. So if you're interested in this, you can go and sign up to be one of the first videos to use it, and it should be free for a while, or if you're already using some other platform. But Google is trying to be the Johnny came lately and catch up to Zoom. So that's the news item if you want another fun platform to play with. So that gets us to, okay, bouncing back. What does that mean? For some hospitals, they chose to close. Some hospitals are doing curbside only. Some hospitals are doing boarding and grooming. Some are not. Some are just doing emergency vet. So we all have different choices and different stages of what business means today for us. So getting from wherever you are today to wherever the future may bring, wherever those dates are, is going to take some cleanup. So some of the analogy I use is I'm a gardener whenever I possibly can. That means when there is no snow on the ground, it's spring or summer, and I'm not working. I like to be outside in the garden. And the analogy I like to use is to get your garden ready. You've got to take away the old, you got to turn over the soil, you got to prep the beds, you got to get everything ready before you plant the new. And that same kind of concept goes for your business right now. So what can you do now, regardless of what stage of open your business is, be it from closed to fully open? We have some items here that I brought up today that might be helpful for you. So number one, the screen that's up here is Facebook and Google actually, but we'll start with Facebook, has gotten cheaper. This is because Facebook and Google both work on an auction-based system. So the more people who are bidding, they raise up the price. So you have to pay more to get the same visibility with your ad when there's more people bidding. When there's less people bidding, the price doesn't go up as much. It's just a purely mathematical formula. Facebook and Google are both saying they're really hemorrhaging cash, which means there's a lot less people advertising. We are seeing that here at Beyond Indigo. We are seeing that ads cost a lot less. So that's a good time to be able to get into Facebook. So like on Facebook, regardless of where you are, communication is important. So on Facebook, you can communicate what type of business you're doing, hours, if you're fully closed, you know, when you perhaps are going to reopen, putting a message out there, hey, we're still thinking about you. We are so excited to see you again. We plan to open on X date, be it June 1st or whatever it is, and say, start making your appointments now. So you can start filling up your appointment pipeline before your doors open. So take a look at Facebook. Also this coming Monday, it will be May 4th. We have Tyler from our social media group who's going to be talking about Facebook ads specifically if you want to come learn a little bit more about that. Now, next slide, Will, please. Google is also dirt cheap. We can't believe how dirt cheap Google is. Our team is looking at it and going, holy crap, it's cheap. This is a good time to get in about your messaging too. And the messaging is what you're doing for business now, what services you can advertise for. If you're closed, when you might reopen, Google is a great place to go. Google has a whole center to run ads, or use a marketing provider like us or your own marketing provider, but start getting those messages out there. It doesn't cost as much as before COVID. It just doesn't. So this is a great opportunity. Don't be shy about it. Right, what else can you do? Will, next slide, please. Okay, Google My Business. Oofta. Google has gone all over the map with Google My Business during COVID. They have been trying to be extremely helpful, which they are, but there's been a whole bunch of new settings put up for COVID, for hours, businesses, delivery, not delivery. So don't click it and leave it. This is a place to go back to and make sure that everything that you have changed on Google My Business, if you did, is exactly where it needs to be today. When you go back to a new status, be it opening fully or doing different services, again, like boarding and grooming, time to go back and check Google My Business. Like check Google My Business every week right now, seriously. Google also might start rolling out some opportunities for reviews again. So it'd be a good time to get reviews from customers who are really excited about your services. Just like me yesterday with my dog, I was super excited that he could get pain relief. Those are the customers that you want to start asking to leave reviews. That will help you bounce back because everybody starts reading reviews to find out about services. Next slide, Will. All right. Finally, you need to know about your people. And Google Analytics is a really great way to see what's going on with your website. So it can tell you before COVID, and it can tell you about during COVID, and it can start looking at some trends. So it's time to maybe start pulling out the analytical reports, seeing what your demographics are, what people are doing, where they're going on your website, and maybe doing some house cleaning and readjusting based on what your customers' desires and demands are today. So while you may have a little bit of time, you may not. If you have a marketing provider, certainly get with them and discuss too some trends and make some plans for what next for the next stage of open for COVID. So Facebook, Google Ads, Google My Business, Google Analytics. These are all really, really important things to get your feet back on the ground and communicate. You can't really communicate too much, actually. So that's what we can do there. So don't do nothing, do something, and keep checking back is the message. Okay, so marketing to self segment, Will. It's hard to believe, but next week's Mother's Day, and I'm going to make another plug for Farm Girl Flowers. This is their last day for 20% off. We're just trying to help another small business out there succeed during these hard times. 1-800-Flowers, 1-Pro-Flowers will all probably still make it through. But small businesses like this, and if this is something one you knew, I'm going to plug that you use somebody locally in your own town to buy flowers, if that's your thing for the woman in your life, whoever that may be, for Mother's Day. So we'll put up, there's a promo code. We'll put that up for you down in the comments. This is the last day, and they do make usually the expression in the thought is wow when somebody opens the box from Farm Girl Flowers. So that's what we have today. Tomorrow we kind of have a fun day. So stop by and see what we have going. And we look forward to hearing from you soon. Talk to you later.